right, everybody, welcome back. WX Fan 21 back here with you. This is Metroids for Charity. This is finally something for the first time we haven't seen on Speed Gaming in quite some time. Metroid Prime 1 any percent, showcased by, in my opinion, one of the best Metroid Prime 1 runners out there. This is Sam, and Sam is going to be doing some commentary along with his co-coms Reggie. So, without any further ado, Reggie, Sam, take it away.
All right, cool. Thank you, WX fan. Hello, Speed Gaming. All the folks from Metroids for Charity. It is really awesome to be here. I'm really excited to share Prime Any Percent. First time in a long time since we've seen it on Speed Gaming, ever since like the 2019-ish Metroid Prime Any Percent tournament. I'm a relatively long-term sort of Metroid Prime speedrunner for about 3 years. 3 years, man. It's been too long. Reggie, a much more long-timer, however. I hope you all could hear me just there. We were having some issues, but if you didn't, hi, I'm Sam. I run this game for 3 years. Reggie, you've run this game for longer than me, but probably in the amount of time that I have run this game, it is more than the amount of time that you have run this game in terms of... Yeah, you feel me. You got me, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Reggie, introduce yourself. One of my best friends.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Uncle Reggie, here mostly for moral support and to talk about the cool stuff that the game can do while Sam is doing important things and unable to focus and use hands at the same time. But hello, happy to be here. Hello, I see many familiar faces in chat. Hello, I'll talk to you later. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think we're just about ready to get started. This game is very movement-based. You're going to see me just flying in a lot of places, doing a whole lot of tricks, exploits that are just going to get thrown at you. Reggie is going to be here to help explain any questions that you might have, so feel free to fill them out. Both of us can see the chat. You know, it should be good, but we just have to start with our tutorial area, and I'll leave that to Reggie for most of the commentary.
Yeah. Unidentified distress beacon. Yikes. So we're going to start off here. At the beginning of the game, most of what you see on Speed Gaming for this game is randomizer content. So welcome to the tutorial part of the game that we literally try really hard to never see. There are no items here. So we're going to watch Sam go through this room, exterior docking hangar, shoot some targets, open up some gates, roll around through some hallways, and generally look and see there. We use the scan visor for quite a number of things, not only reading. We'll get more into that later. Like right now, boom, look at that. Turns out scan visor is not only for reading, it is in fact the movement system. We can use it to yeet ourselves sideways at incredible speed as the game says, you know what, you want to move sideways? I'll let you do that just about as fast as you can go.
Yep.
So a lot of the movement tech for this game is going to be pretty much doing some bomb goofiness with the morph ball bombs or yeeting ourselves to the side as quick as we can go or some boxing later, but we'll talk about boxes.
Ooh, boxes. The box.
We've got some pretty cool room strats. Like right here, we're going to see a nice little bonk.
Oh.
Oop. Well, we were supposed to bonk. I was so prepared to talk about that damage boost instead of Cody Ledge.
I robbed it from you.
So biohazard containment here is a fun room. There's a little pipe that we can double bomb jump up onto here and then stick ourselves in a corner and flick backwards, and we get a nice little reposition. Allows us to go through the room without dealing with any of the enemies. Or going all the way around it. Sam, what's your favorite room in Uncrashed Frigate?
Ooh. It honestly might be this room. Cargo freight lift.
Yeah, cargo freight lift.
It's a cool room.
It's a good room. No pirate shenanigans for the marathon. R.I.P.
Gotta learn the setup.
You gotta learn the set.
It's a setup that doesn't save any time, but you can learn it.
Everybody likes to see the breakdancing pirate.
Y'all like boss fights?
I hope you don't, because you're not going to be watching this one for very long. We love queens so much that we are going to commit regicide right there. Good old Parasite Queen does have an extra damage box on her mouth. If you scan her, as the scan visor is very useful for gathering information. The lock on target will switch from the center of her body to her mouth, and you can overlap your missiles to when they fire to hit both of those boxes and deal a lot of damage. It's pretty great. Not if you're Parasite Queen, though. That's pretty lame if you're her.
Yeah. Kinda sucks.
Pretty great if you got a controller in your hands, though.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of controllers in hands, you put them in the hands of this goofy person right here, and turns out, wow, I have not seen any of the pirates actually go into the corner during the explosion in a long time.
Yeah.
But you turns out that the concept of being inside of the bounds of the room is merely a suggestion in this game. So we're going to say, you know what? I don't like the way that you want me to go to get out of this burning, crashing spaceship. So I'm going to show you how every room is, in fact, inside of a box. Because the GameCube was earlier hardware and the physics for the Prime series are pretty well developed and very intensive. In order to cut down on compute costs, they made it so that every room has its physics properties inside of a bounding box. And if you touch the edge of that bounding box, physics stop working. You can use that to stand in the middle of the air, which is pretty great if you want to not go where you're supposed to go. Or if you want to go where you're not supposed to go. The other way around.
Well, that's quite good.
What do we got? Yeah, we got a 5. Just barely not a 520.
I'll take it. It's still pretty good. That's arguably the hardest part of the run.
It's the hardest part of the run to feel good about, for sure.
We should talk about item loss skip, because in the frigate you're supposed to go through a section not out of bounds, and you know, the inbounds developer and the purest method, right? You lose all your items, right? Only thing you have is like power beam, scan visor, and you know, you lose the various suit, everything like that. The thing
really
is that
we skipped that.
Yeah, I know, right? We can just
we have all our stuff.
I know, it's so good, right? But if only Retro Studios weren't the ones developing this game.
Dude, where's my missiles?
I know, where I can't find them, man. They're not coming out. Oh, what's that? We're blue now. Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Gnarly. I actually did you see that your hand was green?
My hand is still green.
Your hand is still green.
A very green
That's
hand.
funny because that makes sense, but that's kind of silly. So using the scan dashing thing that we were talking about earlier and the lack of a horizontal speed cap, turns out that the double jump item is literally in the room right next to where you start. And there's a whole bunch of sequence where you go through, get a whole bunch of items, and you get that like a third of the way into the game, maybe a quarter. Well, what if we could just get it immediately? You know, with the little quick zoop, some speed zoom in, and you can, turns out, just get it immediately, which is really great.
Super strong.
We're gonna use that to a lot of effect, like right here. Boom, first missiles. Yeah, hashtag zoop. It's a scientific term.
Coined. Trademarked.
Professional speedrunners use it all the time to describe going from point A to point B super quick. Zoop. So just like that, we're into one of the first rooms in the actual part of the game we're allowed to explore, Chozo Ruins. And And we have missiles and an energy tank before we're even supposed to even know that those exist,
Yep.
which is pretty awesome. Also, Morph Ball, super early. We love to see.
We can just directly skip the fight trigger and go straight to Morph Ball because of Space Jump.
Boom. And just like that, we are now locked into anxiety music for the rest of our lives.
This was my.
What's
This is the music that was playing through my head while I was taking my exam earlier today.
Yeah, your calculus exam to just beetle fight music. What's the most inappropriate time in your life that beetle fight music could start playing?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. It's true.
That's not safe for speed gaming chat. Okay. What about during therapy, right? Like you call your therapist in boom, beetle music instantly.
Ooh, yeah, that's a.
That's,
Oh,
yeah, that's
you
the
need a new
opposite of
therapist.
Alrighty. In terms of major upgrades, it's been a long time since we've gotten one, and by a long time, I mean just a few minutes. So we've got to fix that. Luckily, there's one right here. Charge Beam is pretty great. Does the added bonus of extra damage when you take the time to charge it up, and it'll Tractor Beam in health drops and like missile drops, ammo, etc. over a pretty nice distance. You don't have to physically walk over and pick it up, which is pretty great in a 3D game.
Yeah. You don't need it to beat the game, but it's really useful, so it saves time.
Ooh, here we go. Wedding. That's a good one. Instead of the you get beetle music.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Ooh, going for it. Oh, that's
It was a little limp, but it was alright.
You touched the wall really fast.
Yeah.
So that was pretty great. With great power comes great responsibility and danger, as one can, while flinging themselves sideways, stick themselves into walls, bounce off of enemies. It's pretty great.
Yep. That's what happens when you move sideways.
Yeah, this is basically an auto scroller, Sam. I'll shut up for a while so you can talk about this one.
Yeah, I'm happy to. So this is Zoid, also known as the Incinerator drone. We named him Zoid based off of the person who developed this guy, named Zoid Kirsch, who is a longtime friend of the Spearing community and the Prime community in general. This fight is extremely trivial because you can just stand on the spot in front of it when you're not supposed to. We need to shoot its eyeball 4 times, and the amount of time that can pass between the first start of the cycle and when it raises its eyeball can vary a lot. You can lose about 40-45 seconds depending on how bad it is. Generally, if the music does not loop, wow, that's gone really well so far. Generally, if the music does not loop when you take out Zoid, that means it was good RNG. We're gonna see this 4th cycle is the one that matters the most, so we've had a good first 3 cycles. Okay, so it was a pretty bad 4th cycle, but we did not get the music loop, so that was good RNG. We will definitely take that. We need to get him up for the Morph Ball bombs, which are rather important.
Yep. Turns out that explosives are really important for opening barriers to doors in your life, especially if your name is Samus Aran. You gotta shoot doors, missile doors, bomb doors, hit them with all kinds of things, because these things don't want to open without that. Morph Ball bombs also enables us to do a lot of pretty important shenanigans. Although any percent doesn't do a whole, or the route that we are featuring doesn't use a whole lot of complex bomb jumping. I don't think really at all.
Yeah, we do have some bomb space jumps, which You want to explain?
Yeah, we got some of
It's
those.
gonna happen soon in a bit. We got a special strat.
Oh, it is.
for you.
Yeah, you are on your way. Okay. So there are the programming for the game says that there are several different statuses that you can be in during the jump action. We care specifically about number 3, which lets you do this. If you unmorph within 21 frames of leaving the ground, and the camera is blocked off in a way that allows you to unmorph instantly, like we just saw coming out of that tunnel, you can put a jump input in that 21 frame window, and the game says, okay, yeah, you're allowed to jump. And it basically gives you a third jump. And considering that the game was designed around you going from 1 jump to 2 jumps, being able to go from 2 jumps to 3 jumps is a pretty big one.
Yep.
So here we are seeing Samus don the chemical company Monsanto's Roundup into her morph ball. She's going to run around and take care of this giant weed called Flagra.
Yeah, Flagra's from the future and is really into solar power energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to take care of that, but you don't really need to.
Yeah. Also, kind of hard to maintain your garden when your civilization is falling apart. So it's not the Chozo's fault.
Yeah.
But this plant is not happy at all. Turns out also when a giant meteor full of radioactive goop falls onto your planet, the bad things happen to your planet. This is one of those bad things.
Yep. This is like the antithesis to Parasite Queen. Lot of cutscene, very little interaction.
So, for events, we see things is how long it takes to actually do. So we've got the timer running up, in the top left. But the game itself has a pretty accurate, or remarkably accurate in-game timer. What's hilarious is that the difference in-game time between Parasite Queen and Flagra is very small. It's not a whole lot of time. It's several seconds. But Flagra takes so much longer to do because of the cutscenes.
Yep.
Luckily, because we're so good at gardening, we get paid in a gold dollar coin that we're going to immediately take and get some new clothes.
Yeah. This is how I put on my clothes in the morning. I start floating, and then I T-pose.
Yeah, I too float in T-pose in the morning.
It really freaks my roommate out, but he's gotten used to it.
So the singular gold coin we got allowed us to buy some puke-covered clothes. So we now have the Varia suit, which is pretty awesome if you like going into hot places, which I don't, but we kind of have to. It's the hallway, the air conditioning for this planet is not working in the hallway. It's a little warm in there, so this will help keep us safe as we go that way.
I like to think that the various suit just installs an air conditioner into the suit.
She's just got a window unit on her back.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we liked the big plant room so much, we decided, you know what? What if we went back? Because I'm feeling a little wild, and I'd like to do it early. So, goofy physics mean that if you stick the ball in the corner of the wall, it kind of gets stuck and falls slower. And if you ride the, that's an ion? If you ride the, oh no, that's an Oculus. If you ride the Oculus up a little bit and then to specifically time the bomb jumps at a time, you can just float right up and come back here and do this fight way early, which is pretty great. So we're going to see if the ghosts behave. We're going to see Sam try to juggle them. There we go. Kind of like that. There we go. And what that does is it just locks them in front of you because they have this tendency to not show up They'll move and then they'll hide for a few seconds. We don't have the X-ray visor to accurately track them because we're here early. There you go. That's pretty good, though. We got 2 decent juggles. And then the third one's... Ooh, there we go. Good,
Oh my god.
Wow, not bad. That was pretty good.
Oh, really good, honestly. Yep, there's an artifact here that you're supposed to get much later with, like, Spider Ball and Super Missiles.
Super missiles, yeah.
Spoilers. We may not be seeing them this run.
Ever. Hey, and I tell you what, we've got a hallway into an elevator coming up for a while here. WX, you got anything you want to talk about with the charity going on? Why we're here? A little about what we're doing? I'd love to hear it.
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Sam. And this is why I said Sam's one of the best out there. He's flying around. We're, what, 18 minutes into the run, and we've already got most of the early game complete. He's just fantastic and goated.
Thank you.
You know what else is goated? Bringing the
Charity.
issue of mental health out of the darkness into the light is exactly what I think is goated. We need to make sure we're raising as much money here for Safe in Our World. They are an amazing charity here. They are a mental health charity specifically devoted to the video game industry and communities of gamers. They host a lot of life-saving resources, a hub of them, international helplines and information, safeinourworld.org to learn more about them. They do a bunch of stuff. They got a podcast out there. They got a video games themed mental health journal. They've delivered over $380,000 of free mental health training to anyone in the industry. And we're up to 328.72 pounds. This is a charity based in the United Kingdom. So when donating, ! Donate. Being able to donate to these fine folks is amazing, but make sure you keep in mind the conversion rate. And the latest donation is from Sunwoo Farmer, 25 pounds, says, "Let's go Metroid." And speaking of Metroid, we got plenty of Metroid Prime 80% action still to go. Reggie and Sam, I know, Reggie, you don't like a lot of heat. Not my favorite either, but we're hanging out in Magamore Caverns. Why don't you boys take it away?
Yeah. So we're actually getting to see one of my favorite strats in the game as a backup strat right here.
I took it away from you.
Everybody and their brother needs to know one important thing. Brother, sister, non-binary, sibling, whatever. Know this. Everybody's Magmore 1 sucks. It's just a fact of life, right? Also, because this is a marathon, we're getting race tank. Sam doesn't need race tank. However, it is much safer to do just to get it, you know. We have the time. We're so fast, we can take the extra couple seconds to get race tank.
Yeah.
Especially as our consolation prize for having to go through Magmore at all.
Yep. Indeed.
This next place is pretty cool.
Oh, I love this.
You want to talk about it, Sam?
Oh, dude. Would I? So this is Fendrana. We need to come here for a few items, particularly the wave beam. However, holy moly, those gifted subs. Thank you so much. One of the most important things is wave beam, but we do want to pick up a couple of majors. One of them, which we technically don't need, but will let us go very fast, and also do a trick that will... it'll be a interesting time to explain, we'll just say that. So you'll notice that if you know anything about like randomizers or anything, you know that we can go straight to the wave beam if we choose to. However, we're going to get the boost ball that lies here in Fendrana Canyon. Normally supposed to raise platforms, but with some dashes you can get it. And there we go, we got boost ball. And boost ball is really, really good in a very simple way. It just lets you move very fast, particularly on just over a long stretch of ground. And there's no real speed cap. So if you give us a flat, very long piece of ground, we can go as fast as you want. Yeah, literally. But there is also another somewhat niche use of Boost Ball that we're going to get to see that allows us to get an item that we're not intended to get just yet. Before that, we need to figure out the game's trying to remind us where we're supposed to be going, what we're supposed to be doing. We get to see the oversized Ridley shadow. Really,
in case
really
you
big.
forgot. In the ambience of this game, in case you forgot, you're here to chase this chicken.
Yeah. I would explain this section, but I think Reggie, you're in a much better spot for that.
Yeah, I love Wave Sun. So we're resuming the school of thought that if I'm outside of where I'm supposed to be, I can do things faster. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take advantage of the fact that we're not inside the room, and we're gonna do some pretty gnarly stuff here. You'll notice that when Sam is trying to go from one room to another, that he's specifically moving on the very top of the door. There's a tiny transition trigger box that we have to move through to tell the game, I want to be in the next room. When you walk through the door, normally it does that for you, but when you're out of bounds, it doesn't. Because we are technically in the next room with the tunnel, some goofy stuff happens with the collision checking in this room. What we're going to do is we're going to come out of that and lodge ourselves in this little corner by the pillar, and we're going to hold a very specific angle down left into the stick and just a little bit up. And we're going to hold this because the ball is stuck in this corner. And the angle that we are holding allows us to increase our rotational speed very, very, very quickly. And we are going to go so fast rotationally that the game says, oh my God, what are you doing, dude? I don't even know what to do. And it unloads the morph ball shell. And we see a nice, beautiful, glowing orb.
Orb.
I'm a little early. Darn.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised
Orb.
that this saves time.
The reason that we're going to do this is when we boost twice in rapid succession in orb mode. Two Samuses. You touch everything that is allowed to be touched, is the simple way to say it. So because technically the room thought we were in the morph ball tunnel room, pieces of this room were loaded, and the old room were also loaded, Chozo Ice Temple. So we not only picked up Wave Beam from Chozo Ice Temple, inside the icy hands that we're about to lock onto and dash off of, underneath that, there's an artifact called the Artifact of Sun. Well, now, why is that trick called Wave Sun? Well, there we go. We got them both.
Yeah. You normally need to get Plasma Beam, which is way later and requires quite the backtrack. So this makes it much, much easier for our route.
Yeah, we don't ever want to have to come back to that section of Phendrana ever again, because there's no reason to other than to get specifically that. Now, luckily, the cutscene for getting Wave Beam unloaded the infinite speed state, so we were safe immediately after. There are some uses where we don't get that, and you'll get to see that here, actually, not in too long. Sam, talk about Magmor 2 while you can before I have to.
Okay, well, so this trip, first off, you're normally supposed to raise a platform with boost to get this artifact, but you can very easily just get out of the way now. And right below us is a very nice power bomb expansion. And unlike a game like Metroid Dread, where you need to pick up the main power bomb item in order to use them, any power bomb expansion will let us use power bombs. So with that in mind, we wanted to find a way in order to grab this power bomb. And while there are other options for getting power bombs, this one is actually a little bit neat in how fast you can get it. And it all involves our little friend, this Triclops here.
Does this Triclops have a name?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't?
Which is it's really surprising to me.
One of them speedrunners needs to name this guy. So the idea here is that we're going to get this Triclops to move in a very specific way, spit us out in a kind of specific area, and then come back and grab the morph ball in such a fashion that it will spit it right out of bounds. Yeah, just like that. Awesome.
Love a good second try.
And now We just come up here, do some. Because we have boost ball, we can go through ceilings without being on the wrong room in some situations. In this one, it's really easy to. And now we have a power bomb. We shouldn't have this for a long time.
Yeah. Really shouldn't. That trick is... Not only that trick, but a lot of stuff in this game much harder than it looks.
Yeah, the manipulation for that Triclops is a giant pain in the butt. And it looked super easy because of how quickly it got done. That is not easy.
Yeah.
That little guy does not like to cooperate. It will be so happy to throw you in the wrong direction as many times as it wants.
Yep.
All right. So what's the purpose of getting that power bomb this early, Sam? Why did we get that power bomb?
That's a great question, and it's kind of just a good question about Metroid Prime routing in general, because one of the most important things in this game is power bombs. Because of a few things, mainly that there is a particular item that we need to get that requires a power bomb to obtain. It's actually quite, in an arguably early area, it's just locked behind a lot of items. And how soon you can get that item out of the way helps with determining how quickly you can get the items that you need to finish the game. Depending on how early you get that power bomb is very critical to routing, and all of our route differences in this game, outside of like inbounds, is just dependent on what power bomb you're getting and how fast you can get it.
What's your first power bomb determines what route you're doing
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
That's genuinely
also,
what it is.
I've genuinely forgot that you were getting Fiery Shores PB. So I'm so sorry, everybody, that I genuinely I lied to you and talked that we were gonna get to see some fun infinite speed shenanigans, but we're not doing.
Reggie has
Magma
lied
Pool.
to you all.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
You can talk about it though, if you like. We're just gonna do a,
Sure.
or you can talk about slope jumps.
Yeah, well, let's talk about something that we're actually doing. So normally we need gravity suit, right? Because you're moving in water. Oh gosh, spoiler alert: gravity suit is in this game. But because slopes are pretty great, we used one to get our first missile expansion in that half pipe in Main Plaza. The effect from a slope jump, nice. That was beautiful.
That was lovely.
Is amplified when you're underwater and you don't have gravity suit. This makes it so that it's really easy to get to a lot of places that you should not be able to. In fact, there is not a single hard required use case of gravity suit in this game.
Yep.
Every single one of them can be skipped. So we were able to get the artifact that was down there. Now, let's see. What, are we
Don't blink because we're going out of bounds.
IBBFing? Yeah. All right. So since there's a puzzle in the way, when we fought Zoid, there's a puzzle in Energy Core. Those birds were in a really weird spot.
Yeah.
I don't think
very
I've ever
funky.
seen them right in front of the camera like that. That was awesome. Obligatory. That's never happened before, or something like that.
Oh yeah. This puzzle
right here. This door is locked, and it's kind of a pain in the butt that it's locked. So we're not gonna go through the room. Woo!
That's fine.
And because going through the room is slow. Puzzles are slow. We don't want to do that. So we're just gonna do some more of this outside the box, but inside a different box shenanigans. Really clean, nicely done, beautiful.
I think I'm gonna do it just for. Actually, no. Don't worry about me. I'm just off of my own little out of bounds world.
You're thinking if you're gonna do something funny?
Yeah, my own little secret world, you could say.
Sure.
Oops.
Ooh.
Fine.
Oh. So what we're doing here is the whole reason we need to come back this way is now that we have Wave Beam, we can come in and we can get through all these places and get our Chili Beam. We have raw energy, we have electricity. It's time for the Frosty Fingers. And by going out of bounds, we can skip several cutscenes, a fight and a half, and some really long rooms that are just kind of a pain in the butt to get through.
Stone toes are covered in butter.
And boom. Now we have Ice Beam.
Do you want to talk about the name of the trick?
Yeah, this trick is called Ice Beam before Flagra, but we're doing it after Flagra. So it's IBBFAF. The original discovery of this trick was how to get Ice Beam before fighting Flagra. But then using some of the wall crawl is still faster in any percent after Flagra. So we have IBBFAF.
We're very good at naming things.
We're very good at naming things. If you're a mad lad, you can do Ice Beam before Flagra, after Flagra, before Flagra.
Yep.
Which is what it's not the power bombs before bombs route is not very marathon friendly. It's super awesome and incredibly technical run. It's just not viable.
Yep.
It's also kind of boring, truth be told. Like, it's really awesome, but the points where it is not really awesome are really boring.
Yeah, you have to know a lot about that game, or excuse me, a lot about that trick in order to actually appreciate what's happening. If you don't, it just kind of looks like whatever. Also, this is the
It's
item
super
we're
awesome,
talking about.
but super dumb. Yeah, X-ray visor. We needed the power bomb to come here.
This item is very important.
It is very important. There, in this game, is only a single enemy that is protected fully by a visor requirement, in that it's impossible to damage it without this visor being active. And it's kind of a pain in the butt. We really need to kill that guy because he's got something we want. So we're going to go ahead and do it like this. And now that we have Ice Beam, we also just got X-Ray Visor. And now we got another artifact. You know what I think we need? I think we need some hot hands.
Yeah. We need some spice, right?
Yeah, we got the Frosty Fingers. It's time to heat things up a little bit, I think.
I got those Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. we gotta get our B-dubs atomic fire sauce.
Sorry if you're not American. that joke will make no sense.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, leave it to the Americans to make an American-only joke for a charity raising funds in the Royal Pound. Hey. Anyway, we're here back in Chosen because we have Ice Beam.
No, Richie.
Nice. This is the joy of laughing during marathons.
Oh no, yeah.
We're gonna take some shortcuts to get back to our spicy fingers.
If the stone toad will, they are covered in butter.
Everybody, do me a favor and put butter toad in chat.
Your standable is always smaller than you think it is. Are you having too much fun?
I think yeah, I'm having so much fun. In fact, I'm having so much fun that I'm remembering we've just kind of got a lot of backtracking. And I will stop talking about the Zoop Zoops because we've got several really good Zoop Zoops coming up right here. Some Zoop Zoop and some Zoom Zooms. We'll let them speak for themselves while WX talks about the charity.
This is fantastic. Zoop Zoops, Zoom Zooms, Sam knows how to play this game, we swear, except that stone toe. It clearly wasn't Sam's fault. It was all the stone toes.
It was.
It was
What's
the butter.
Bash Prime when we've heard so much butter about this? Where is our friend Bash Prime at? He'll be on tomorrow, by the way. We have 353 pounds raised for Safer in Our World. We have another 25-pound donation from Jeff Gaines in Games, who says, "Wave beam!
Wave beam!
Wave him!"
Fantastic. Folks, for more information about what's coming up on the marathon, you can head on over !schedule. We'll get you over to the speedgaming.org schedule. Tomorrow is currently being worked on. But for the rest of the marathon today, right after this amazing any percent run, we're going to have our one and only 100% speed run. And that's going to be Flash Frost taking on Metroid Fusion 100% with Thunder and Darkspy. Get you covered on commentary. And we don't need no stinking trackers for regular speed runs, but Sam apparently really likes the heat because he's gonna head back to Magmore, so
Yep.
why don't you fine folks take this on over. Oh, and speaking of heat, chat, I did decide on dinner. I elected for a General Gao's chicken and pork lo mein.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about
And
that.
a chocolate frap, because I texted my wife and I'm like, I kind of want a chocolate frap. I'm like, you want ice cream? She goes, sure, I can go for ice cream. So there will be a chocolate frap for dessert.
I love that.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of things I love, the bunny hop strat that Sam just did to cross Twin Fires. Juicy strat. We love to see it. So, remember how we did that weird bomb jump thing a little bit earlier? Geothermal core is really, really cool. It's so cool that we're going to do a really difficult bomb space jump there.
That was really
And
good.
that was a super clean geo core.
So
You
we're not out of the
still
woods
got
yet.
one jump left. So by doing that, we're skipping raising 2 spinners, which obviously saves us a whole bunch of time. Also, we're flying on the wings of eagles to reach this spot to get our spicy hands. So now we've got some hot hands warmers in the pockets of our suit, so we can put our our arm cannon in there and share some of that fire. Plasma beam is really important because one room or one region in particular is awfully slow to work through. In addition to us needing some places or things from other places. But in particular, the phase-on mines are so bad that we would really love to only go there one time, because let alone or entering that region, let alone doing anything in it, is so slow. It's super far out of the way. There's nothing nearby it. The 2 ways that we have to get into and out of it are both kind of out of the way. We're really close to one of them right now, but we still got some stuff that we have to take care of here in Fendrana now that we have plasma.
Yep.
So Sam's gonna access up here. We don't have spider ball, so oh gosh, we can't get up there. Ha ha ha. No, we don't care about that. So
Best music in the game.
also, banger alert, if you know how to spell cat jam, I'm gonna need you to show everybody that you can spell cat jam. Because this track do be fire. Amazing. So now that we have both a power bomb and we have fire fingers, we're gonna come over here and we are going to get nicely done. Good. We even killed that dude because he sucks. We're gonna come up here. We're gonna get this power bomb because having more than one is a really great idea.
Yep.
The game does not like to drop them and give you ammo refills. Oh yeah, that was a good call on waiting. That dude was right in the way. That would have sucked so bad.
Yep.
Plasma bomb and a power beam means we get Chozo Artifact of Spirit. Yeah, look at all those cat jams. Thank you, chat. I'm really glad that I can count on you to give me pictures of cat jam.
Oops.
Um,
Hardest trick in the game is shooting the door.
yes. Not all doors are created equal. Some explosives are weaker than others, and some doors like some explosives better.
Sorry, Hunter. You
So,
had to go.
yeah, it's all right. That dude's kind of a jerk anyway. So now that we have the extra power bomb and that artifact, which is super, super required, we had to go get that. Now we're realizing there's another one of these things somewhere over here I gotta go get, isn't there? Ah, yeah, that's right. We gotta go to Control Tower. Because someone decided that would be a great place to leave another one of these artifacts. So, one of my favorite rooms in the game as far as movement goes. Absolutely love Research Core.
Yep.
I'm gonna climb up some standables. The idea, you're supposed to have space jump by the time you're here, but the idea is that you're gonna be walking up around the ramps around the room.
Thank
But
you,
if you
Edward.
have space jump, thank you, Edward.
Everyone, your train of thought. No.
Yep. That's all right.
I blame Edward.
I'll talk about Edward. Yeah, I'll blame Edward. The pirate that you heard dying in the background, his name is Edward, and Edward has one job. Edward's job is to jump through the glass and break it. But Edward doesn't always know how to do his job because we're coming in the room backwards. Luckily, Edward did do his job still. But it's very common for Edward to just be like, you know what? I think you should reload this room and try again.
Yep. Fun fact, that actually
So
happened
there-
in my personal best.
Yep, that we love and hate to see PBs have that happen. At least it's freeze time save in the next one.
Yep.
So we came up here. We got the artifact elder. We're gonna go ahead and get ourselves out of this place. We do have the Varia suit, but it is still a little cold. We're getting cold feet. We gotta get out of here. Yeah. Also, Jeff pointing out, I can't believe that there's a Metroid in this game. That
crap,
cutscene
Wallace.
with George is the first Metroid that we physically see alive in the game. So they go out of their way to make sure that
That we know.
that we realize, hey guys, look, they're dead, right? Every single one of these things is dead. Teehee, what if? There you go. Sam says, you know what? Reading is important, but I'd rather get the Cliff Notes version. So we're just reading really quickly on our way down the room to get the key codes we need to get in and see in various colors.
Yeah. Two of the best colors that are better than green.
Allegedly. So the thermal visor is not hard required like the X-ray visor is. We do not have to use it for anything at all. However, there is a boss in the game that is slightly easier if you do have thermal visor. And because we have to go right back through that room on the way out of there anyway, it makes no sense to leave it behind. So we pick it up anyway because it makes things nice and fun for later.
Yep.
We got a really fantastic segment of the game coming up. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking for this one. So
Please do.
Sam, you go ahead. You talk about as much of this as you can before I have to take over because strats have to happen.
Yeah, well, I can say for now that Phazon Mines, it's the hardest area in the game, both in a casual and speedrunning sense. A lot of awkward areas, especially because you're in an area that intends you to have all the items that we currently have, except more. So there's going to be a lot of skips that we have to do. So a lot of the tricks are going to be more obtuse and require a lot more combinations of exploits.
Stakes are a lot higher because we're missing a suit. You're supposed to have gravity suit, which takes your damage reduction from 10% to 20%, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it is.
It adds up.
Especially when you only have 3 energy tanks.
Yes.
Here we go. Also, because normally in this room, you would get a chance to climb the room we just went down without seeing colorful rainbow pirates in that room. Normally, I would be really happy about hearing about colorful rainbow things, except these guys suck. The beam pirates are not great. They're a giant pain in the butt. They are only vulnerable to the same color beam of their armor. They reflect all other shots. And thankfully, we do have all 4 of the beams, but they are just in the way all the time. And they have a lot of hit points. And we don't have any of the stuff that makes killing them faster. So, this next couple of rooms is some of my favorite things to watch done well, but I absolutely hate doing these rooms. So we're gonna fight this guy right here because he's a gatekeeper, but he only cares if you come through if you have plasma beam. If you don't have plasma beam, he thinks you're cool. Cloak drone right here. Ooh, that missile missed?
Wow.
That's really surprising. Is normally impossible to see. But we can see with the power of gamma rays and X-rays, so we don't really care. This looks...
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of a trash maze. Amazing. So if you remember when we talked about... Actually, this part wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was still pretty bad. There are a large number of possible maze combinations. I can't remember the name off of the top.
300?
The number off the top of my head. Yeah. Is it exactly 300?
I think it is. It might be like 3 plus or minus 1, but...
Point is, there's a lot. There are hundreds of them. And the same esteemed individual who decided how incinerator drones randomness pattern works also decided how or which of the mazes shows up, and it is unique to each save file.
There is a method of skipping that maze, but it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see, but it's pretty dumb. This is one of my least favorite rooms in the game. Metroid Quarantine A. There are some invisible platforms in this room, but we've decided that flying through the air is faster than doing anything else in this game, which we do know is true. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Ooh, that's less than ideal. There we go. We're going to grab onto a bunch of things with our visors and just launch ourselves across the room. We got to manipulate that Metroid to go into a place we wanted it to be across the edge of the bar to give us another fun dashing point. And that room normally takes a long time to get through, and it's a lot faster that way. Wow, rude. I can't believe that dude pushed you off. There we go. So now we've got one of these fungal hall rooms. This trick is hilarious. And when I say hilarious, I mean it's so unbelievably stupid.
Yep.
What we're going to do is the not stupid giant gigabrain explanation for this is there's a magic corner that we can stand on this glider. And when we run into the wall, if you're standing on the magic corner, he can push you through the wall for just a brief moment, and all of a sudden you're out of bounds. What this allows us to do is in this next room, there's an artifact here, and we really have to get all of these artifacts. Remember, they have to be gotten in order for us to beat the game. So
Nice.
we're gonna touch this one because Artifact of Newborn is one of the biggest, if not the biggest artifact. And it sticks out through the box of the wall just a tiny bit. So by going out of bounds there, you can just bump it and get it without having to have the redacted item that we're totally not about to get here shortly. Oh my gosh. That was terrifying.
We're good. We're good.
So the reason that my heart nearly fell into my stomach right there is because when you are out of bounds and you're in that fake that fake gravity box, right? You leave the safe zone and you go into the big spooky wherever in the world. If you're in the morph ball and you're out in the floaty zone, you just fall forever. There is nothing that will stop you. So doing that in a run is pretty bad.
Yeah.
This room, our second more Metroid Quarantine B, also has some fun dash skips, but also these dudes with their beam blocks and their fancy shoes and colors.
Keep
we don't really care for them. That was good. This boss. This is the one that we were needing that X-ray visor. So Omega Pirate, codename, what is it? Codename Upsilon with Phazon Strain Vertigo. This is the epitome, the pinnacle, the capital P for space pirates. The Omega Pirate has been damaged already because we've played the game before. We can skip the cutscene and not get repositioned and avoid having to deal with the first phase of the fight. This phase, he's going to move around to one of these 3 pools of Phazon. We have to have X-Ray Visor active to damage it. We're doing 2 fully charged plasma shots twice. We have to aim away, otherwise the extra shot will trigger the damage. And then, like, beautifully, well done, Omega Pirate will always try to be as far away from you as possible, but will not go to the pool it just spawned at. So we're able to abuse that, know exactly where it's going to spawn, lay a power bomb, and then kaboom.
Gravity suit.
Yeah, wow, crazy. We had the grape juice inside us all along. But no, Phazon suit comes off of that guy. It's really important because it's also a weapon. When your clothes are a weapon, when you dress so sharply that people might get cut. That's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And then what? So we've just got a little bit of cleanup. I think we've got some dead air. WX, you got anything the charity wants to say or wants you to say?
I mean, I personally think we need to get to at least 500 pounds raised before the end of this entire run. I mean, what do you both think?
You got about...
I would love to see that.
You got like 20 minutes. I think you can do it.
What do you think, chat?
Can you do it?
Let's go! You got this, chat. Let's go.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Definitely possible.
Here, I tell you what. I'll make it really easy for you, chat. Are you ready? I'm going to do that for you.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Reggie, with the exclamation point donate. I thought you can do exclamation point and shoop shoop.
Don't tempt me with a good
I'm
time.
making that a thing going forward, by the way. When I do Prime Rando races, that is becoming a thing. I'm just saying.
Hey, zoop zoop.
No, but that's it here on my end. Let's see if we can get the $500, pounds, however you want to call it, raised here for Safe in Our World. Again, safeinourworld.org, we're raising money in support of mental health awareness. Now,
Which we do love.
Sam's
We love
about to
mental health
go and-
awareness.
Absolutely, and I think Sam is trying to do a little jump instead of a zoop, but he's going zoom. Take it away.
Yeah. So we're doing zoom zooms, but up there, because we never got Spider Ball. These two rooms, what is it? Elevator access A, and then
Research
this one,
access.
whose room? Yeah, research access. That's really fresh. We can do in the first one. We can do that cool bomb space jump thingy to hit some standable and climb up there and get through all of that without having to do any of the Spider Ball stuff because we can't. And then in that one, we just do a couple more standables. Technically, like from a technical perspective, the second room is easier. The first room is more complicated in terms of inputs that must be done. But we have to come up here because this guy, his name is Philip, really, really likes missiles. He's also really into death metal, so he's going to headbang for us as we strike him with 24 explosives to the dome. Philip has an artifact, the Artifact of Warrior, which is not found in Warrior Shrine because that would be sensible, wouldn't it?
I have to
No,
do it.
screw you. It's right here. The catch to Philip is that even though his tank breaks, oh, you got to get a PB?
Nope, I didn't raise the platforms correctly.
Oh.
That's okay.
Philip's enclosure, though it is damageable by power bombs, it doesn't.
It's not
Oh,
vulnerable.
I see what you're doing. Sorry, my brain was pausing to compute why you had to do what you did. That makes sense. You had hundo brain.
Something like that.
Philip's enclosure is not actually damageable until you collect Central Dynamo, the main power bombs item. It's kind of goofy because you have the item, right? But there's a trigger that has to be resolved of picking that up before you can blow up his home. So now that we have absolutely drained the Phazon mines of any and all things that we care about, we're going to say bye forever. I don't want to be here anymore. This place sucked. I'm leaving you 1 out of 5 stars on Yelp, and I'm never coming back. Samus will be asking to talk to the manager later.
Oh, absolutely. Samus knows what she needs to be,
news.
Karen.
Yeah, bad news for the manager, guys. Sorry to spoiler, but bad news for the manager. We have just 2 more artifacts that we have to go get. Luckily for us, one of them is in the place where we turn them all in. So we really only have 1 more to go get.
We
R.I.P.
lost some height there. The game made the jump.
Yeah. One of the many things that we can do are great and wild and crazy jumps. But sometimes the game says, you know what? You're trying to go too fast. I don't like what you're doing. What if your feet stuck to the ground? Generally, not a problem. Unless you're doing exactly what we're doing.
Yep.
So, the next step for us here is to go back to Chozo. We have 1 last artifact to get here. The Artifact of World. It involves interacting with the puzzle and the fight that we skipped earlier by going out of bounds on our way to get Ice Beam. So because we haven't done the fight because it's slow, the room is in a rather volatile state right now. The trigger to activate the fight is still there, which is slow. We don't want to do the fight. So what we're going to do is open this barrier. Sam's going to specifically move in a way to jump over onto that peg, land up here, and get into the bomb slot. During this cutscene, Sam's going to hold down right, and as soon as the cutscene ends and he has control, we're going to go right back to over the peg, unmorph.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, you were on
really robbed
you
me.
were on the slope of the peg.
No, I got
kind of rude.
I got my speed. It just didn't. It just got stuck.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
That's dumb.
That very rarely
the idea,
happens.
Yeah. The idea was that we were going to unmorph there, dash back over to where the beam covers are, and then go right over here. Wave beam slot is the one we use to get ice beam. Under the ice beam slot is just an E-tank, so we don't really care about that. But this one, under the power or the plasma beam slot, which oddly enough has an ice beam door underneath, or artifact of world. Out of the 12 artifacts, Sam, which artifact is your personal favorite?
Never been asked that question before. That's a good question. What's yours?
Artifact of strength, because it's the tiniest.
That is a good reason. By the way, we do that dash there
I think it's
to
cuter.
get the low trigger faster. Artifact of Wild, because I can make a lot of puns with it.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild ride.
Yep.
So
It's a wild trick to
I'm not
get
going to
it.
pay any more attention to that because it wasn't that good. So now that we've got artifact of world, we're gonna say, okay, I know that I can, in fact, now that I have 11 other artifacts, I can in fact handle the truth. Before I was too afraid of the truth to handle it. So we're gonna go handle the truth respectfully, I believe.
Yep.
Get over back here, do some fun dashing. You're not saving at ship save, Sam. Remember?
That's true.
Uh,
If I saved there, I probably would have just saved after, anyways.
So we're gonna take a health and ammo refill here, because while we can handle the truth, there is a rather aggressive chicken, nice ship dash, that is upset about us acquiring the truth and what that means. Also, welcome to the impact crater. This cutscene is very important. If they didn't show you, you wouldn't know there was a giant hole in the ground. So thank you, Retro Studios. I am aware of the hole. This room is it takes forever to load, so we usually get to see some handwriting. Everyone's penmanship is different. Sam's penmanship is all right.
Hey.
I've seen better writing.
I tried my
But
best.
you did, and it was good enough. It just wasn't the best I've ever seen. So we got the truth, and the chicken says, "Girl, that was mine. I wanted it." And is wow, really?
I was just a tiny bit early with one of my charge shots.
Yeah, you must have been.
That's okay.
So we were hoping. Yeah, okay, here we go. To showcase something really awesome called Flyby Skip. But instead, we're just flying by. We did get to do a cool thing. Ridley's chest, for whatever reason, is not immune to boost ball damage. And boost ball does an ungodly amount of damage per frame to Ridley's chest.
3,000.
It's stupid. The only thing that stops Ridley from instantly dying to that is the fact that there are 2 phases to this fight and a cutscene to interrupt. So, wow, nicely done. So with the flying boost ball thing, we took away all the health bar of the first phase, and now we're doing the last little bits here. Because this chicken smells really bad, the other birds don't like it. So they're calling him bad names until he flies away and he's cooked.
Go for some cooked chicken right now.
Yeah. So, case in point, if you're a chicken, don't smell bad because the other birds will make fun of you and shoot lasers at you until you die.
And the ghosts, the bird ghosts are like, oh god, thank you so much for killing that chicken. We're gonna let you into our secret club.
Yeah. Welcome to our tree fort. Unfortunately, there's a really angry crab in the tree fort. Can you please go do something about it?
You got the tonsils you were getting to cook the chicken even more on the grill. And you have to grab and just pull the crab out. Yeah. Although we don't want to deal with the crab though.
But have you heard of Surf and Sky, my friends? So, this room is a really great room. The dental room. It's full of teeth because Metroid Prime is in fact a dentist. It's not a Metroid, but it is a dentist. So we're gonna go ahead, pop through here, jump through all those bits and bobs on the room. And now this guy is a really scary crab. We don't like crabs, though. We prefer calamari. So we're skipping this entree.
You got a bit.
What we're doing right here is we're pause buffering. So you'll notice that Sam walked backwards a little bit after walking into this room. What happened there was the room was transitioned to this room and then back to the other room. What Retro Studios never expected you to do was go backwards a room once you reach this part. Turns out if you do that, you unload part of the things that keep the game from breaking when you go to... Ooh.
That's okay.
Go to, walk through the room. Normally what happens is when you reach up against in front of the giant black hole in the wall, a cutscene will happen, Samus will run, do the cool spinny jump, land, and then we see, oh dear lord, spooky crab is here. Guess I have to fight it. What we're gonna do is avoid the crab. So this pause buffering is keeping the next room from loading. What that is going to let us do is go through the hole in the wall, and then we can out of bounds our way through the entire rest of this fight. So we skip the entire Metroid Prime exoskeleton fight. It is often very difficult to remember which way you need to go. So we can in fact refer to the giant hole in the wall in the map to say, yes, you should probably go that direction.
Yeah.
So I apologize for making audible oh no sounds. The idea is that you do a really nice twisty R jump to get through this room pretty quickly, and then we do a little bunny hop where you hold L, press R, or you're holding R, and you press L for just a moment right before your toes touch the ground, and then right after you jump again, as soon as that happens, you let go of L. It's called a bunny hop. It gives you slippery physics while you're landing, and it allows you to slide, preserve some of your speed, and keep moving. We goofed a little bit on that. And it actually, so a good any percent Metroid Prime exoskeleton fight is approximately, based on variance, it's approximately 5 minutes. It's the easiest way to round the time. It's an accessible number. It's about 5 minutes. I think we might be losing a little bit of that 5 minutes in real time. But the timer that shows up at the very end of the game is the one that this strategy says, you know what, you should be a smaller number. So this is incredibly difficult. There are 2 methods to do this particular skip. The other one involves getting one of the Metroids in Phazon Core, the tall room with all the teeth, to go into a room it's not supposed to be in so that it can push you through a hole in the floor of that room. That's kind of lame. Also, Metroids are really uncooperative and kind of smell like doo-doo, so we don't like to get too close to them. And this one is a lot cooler and a lot newer, so we like to show off cool new strats that make absolutely no sense. Yeah, this was discovered, last year? If I remember right? At the beginning of last year. So it's about 1.5 years old of a strat. Unless it's 2 years old now and time is just flying for me, unfortunately, quickly.
I don't know.
So we are nearly out of bounds enough. The trigger that says, yes, other room, go to the next one, is much bigger than a lot of the other triggers that we've had to deal with. It's pretty friggin' huge, and it's a giant plane, vertical plane inside Phazon Infusion Chamber. And the trajectory being messed up from the bunny hop being a little not perfect. Okay, yeah, here we go.
That is the
so
sketchiest part of the run, and it's at nearly the very end.
Yeah. Yep. Now we have to do. What is this? It's a 3-frame window for an ether jump.
Correct.
So we have to do several 3-frame perfect tricks, which doesn't sound too bad, right? You know, it's 3 frames. It's not frame perfect, but this game runs at 60 frames a second. So those 3 frames go by real quick.
That's not to mention what happens if you don't get the jump.
Yeah. If you fail the 3-frame trick, you fall to the bottom of the room, of the room's gravity box. It's called an ether box, but it's essentially where the gravity is allowed to happen. Yeah, there's the crab. We're skipping the crab. So, no crab pits for us. Wobble, wobble, wobble. We love screen shake from an angry crab. So the fun thing about this, though, is that we get to see, from a technical standpoint, that Metroid Prime Exoskeleton as a boss, well done, Sam, is really just 4 copies of the same boss in 4 different rooms with 4 different scripting sets. Take us home a bit for the last one, Sam. You've got plenty of time.
Thanks. Now I can relax because this part is much more straightforward. This is Essence. We were supposed to break open the exoskeleton of the crab, but we didn't, and the crab just kind of wandered off. You know, shells are supposed to come out. They're supposed to make new ones, but exoskeleton, or the essence here, isn't quite like that. So what it likes to do is, you can't damage it with any of your regular weaponry, but if you remember when Reggie mentioned that Phazon suit is a weapon, it will lay these pools of Phazon, and it will try and hide from you, but you can use visors to see it and damage it. However, what we want to do is try and optimize how much damage we can get per second, and the best way to do that is by doing these things called attack cancels. And what this does is it cycles animations and quickly gets Essence to lay the next pool. We just repeat this process.
So Essence has a number of scripted actions that she will try to take before she will lay the next pool. Instead of there being a really timer for how long the phases last, it's more of just like, okay, how many times have I done the thing? Have I done the thing enough? Now I'll go on. So we're abusing the fact that she will always try to put you in between her and the center of the pool to spawn her in a specific spot. And GG's, that's
GG.
time.
There we go.
I completely got so excited to talk about Essence, forgot to say, hey, time's coming up. But yeah, that's time. And yeah, that's Metroid Prime Any Percent, performed by Samuel6710.
Yeah.
Pretty good run. 117 RTA. It's pretty solid.
Yeah. For reference, my PB is like a mid 114 RTA. So it's pretty good. At least in
Sam,
terms of
very
RTA.
nicely done, and thank you for showing off that cool new strat there heading into the XR room. That was very nicely done.
Mhm.
So
Surprisingly fresh trim.
Reggie, yeah, Reggie, Sam, thank you both for the amazing commentary. Hope you all had a good opportunity to really sit back, relax, and enjoy a little bit of Any Percent here. I know for me that was a ton of fun to watch. Sam, I've seen you do randomizers so long. To see you do a full Any Percent run like that was really a pleasure to watch. So nicely done. So this is, in fact, a marathon for charity, for a mental health charity. So I'm going to open it up to the floor for both of you. You heard me talk about in the first part of the marathon with Sinith, Anthony, and Sunwoo and Reem about anything mental health related. Is there anything you both want to share about the topic of mental health, whether it's something you know, something you've been dealing with, somebody you know, or just anything about the topic in general? Reggie, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Sam.
Yeah, Reggie, go for it.
I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about mental health and the awareness of it. So there, in particular, right, in online spaces, it's really easy to connect and jump in and become a part of whatever's going on in this space. Unfortunately, it's still really easy to feel super isolated, even though you have so many people immediately accessible, regardless of how good of friends you are with them. It's still not always quite the same, and it can be hard. There is a very, 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 very important individual to me that is not around anymore. That individual's name is Nick. Nick was known as Always Fut Buckin', also known as Chic Your Booty. Sam and I both belong to a community called Server for Metroid People who want to play other games good too. And that group of people only exists because Nick, back during COVID times, decided, hey, you know what? We're playing a lot of not Metroid games in this Metroid Prime server. Maybe we should have a server to play those games in. And over time, it jumped from just a small number of people that was like 7 to 8 of us playing games together into a server that now has over 100 people in it. And that space is so important to so many people in the Metroid randomizer community for Prime in particular, and
It
Echoes.
really is.
That space exists because of him, and in June of 2022, Nick took his life. One of the most important people that has ever crossed my path, genuine brother to me, and I don't think that there's anybody or anything that any of us could have done that would still keep him here. I think that thinking that way is a rough amount of responsibility that one would put on top of their own selves, right? You know, that the real problem is that people like that are hurting, and they don't feel comfortable to talk about why they're hurting or what is hurting them. And if that stigma didn't exist, if Nick had the resources to talk properly about the things that were bothering him to a professional that would have been able to help him deal with many of the traumas and reasons that led to him deciding the best option that he could do is to stop breathing, that was the best thing for him. That's what he needed more. He didn't need more friends. Is that a 52?
That was a 52.
Wow.
Pretty good. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah. How dare you interrupt me with a good time in a marathon? Point is, things like this are important because people don't feel like they can talk about what's going on. Especially in what is permeated in a lot of AMAB and male-dominated spaces is this hypermasculinity of, if there's something wrong with me, I have to be stronger than it. Otherwise, I am weak. And that's wrong. That's so wrong. If you've got something wrong, if there is anything in your life that has genuinely got you so upset or stressed to the point that the only thing that sounds like the right thing to do is to take a real big nap about it, please, for the love of God, God's atheistic entities, primordial powers, whatever it is, your faith or your ideologies lead you to believe, I urge you to talk to someone. Talk to someone. Just talk to someone. It doesn't matter if that person is the right one to help you with what's going on, right? Talk to someone. Get the dialogue out there. Let the people that you're close to know that what you're going through is hard and that you need help. Please do that. That my personal wish to you is, if that is ever where you are, just talk to someone. You're not a burden. It is not hurtful. You are not too much. You're exactly as much as you should be. And things are really hard. It's okay. You don't have to feel any kind of way about it. It's okay. Just talk to someone.
Yeah.
Trying not to
Much
get
love.
me to tear up over here, Reggie. My goodness.
Yeah, that's all I got on that one. I'm gonna go have some big feelings about it. Thank you for having me and for allowing me to do a whole bunch of talking. I really love doing that, especially about this game and about the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Much love,
Reggie,
everybody.
We could raise $1 million throughout today and tomorrow, and it's not as important as getting the resources in the right people's hands.
Yeah,
Getting
it's
a safe
just about
space for
knowledge.
people to talk about. Yeah.
Knowledge
Like you
is
said,
power.
talk to anybody. There are anonymous hotlines, literally, if you want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Talk.
You can look them up. You can look up in your area.
Yeah.
If your
And
location's
not
on,
only
it'll show
that-
you, or if it's not, put, like your zip code, something like that, you'll find
Yeah.
people who are there for you.
I mean, Reggie, you said it the best. It's like, talk to someone. We're all human beings. And if someone just needs to reach out saying, hey, I'm struggling, I really just need an ear to listen to, I don't think you're going to find many people that are going to say no. Talk to someone if it means getting it off your chest. It's the reason I say it's time to bring the issue of mental health out of the darkness into the light.
Hell, dog, send me a DM right now. If you don't feel like
There
you
you
got
go.
anyone to talk about and you're out there right now and you're hearing this, cool. You send me a DM. Uncle Reggie on Discord, all lowercase. It's that easy. Just find
Yeah.
me. Send me a message. I'll talk to you about it.
I'll say,
Easy enough.
Reggie is one of my best friends for a reason. He's a great talker. I think what Reggie said was really, I think he said most of, similarly to what I would say. I think mental health has been important, but it's something I kind of overlooked. And getting involved with a community with people who are like-minded by itself did so much for me. You know, it's such a stark contrast when we're first joining the randomizer server, seeing all these admins, seeing Reggie be like, ooh, so scary. And then fast forward, and now I'm here commentating a Metroid Prime speedrun while running it with Reggie. And it's truly incredible. So I may not be a professional, but I will say it is important to acknowledge the challenges of our situation, but still be able to embrace and celebrate the joyful things that we have in our life. And for me, that was this community, that was my friends, and that was also Metroid Prime to an extent. So even if you don't really know anybody personally, you trust me when I say that if you find a place of really passionate people, you can develop true, really down-to-earth friendships. And that was this community for me.
Yeah, come play some funny Metroid games with us. Discord.com/Metroid Prime Randomizer is probably not right. I think our invite link is broken. But look really hard. Look really hard,
Go from
and
really
yeah, I promise.
serious to our link's broken.
Yeah, try really hard to find it, and you probably can. Discord has a discovery feature, right? Look for us, Metroid Prime Randomizer. It's really easy to find us. We'll be happy to show you the ropes. This game is super easy, and if you're feeling lonely, build community, because that's the only way to solve things.
Yeah.
It's in the chat.
Yeah, that's how you solve loneliness, is you build community.
Yeah.
And it's harder to build community online and have it really feel meaningful. And I think that we've done a pretty good job at having a group of people that are really passionate about what we're doing, and we love what we're doing, and we try to have as much fun as possible. Sometimes we have conflicting opinions on what the right thing is for that, but we always level ourselves and care about the people that we're talking to and with, because that's the point.
Absolutely.
We love what we're doing, and we want to love who we're doing it with.
Yeah. I wish I could
come play
thank
some games with us.
I wish I could thank every single person I've gotten to know from the community, but there's just so many. There's so many. I will say thank you to Reggie for being here and for being my friend. And also thank you, well, not part of the Prime community, but thank you to my fiance for being there for me. And also just thank you, shout outs to Michi. And thank you to the Prime Randomizer community and staff, all the people who keep it running. And thank you to the Prime Spearing community, particularly like Edson and Vertigo, for being there to help push me to become better, and also just being good friends.
I love that.
I would like to shamelessly thank Speed Gaming, because every time I do anything with Speed Gaming, I try so hard to talk them up, because I cannot tell you how impossible it would be for us to do anything that we do Metroid wise without Speed Gaming. They are amazing. A free infrastructure service for a community of people to latch onto and partner with, and they have many communities that they do this for. That's amazing. So thank you, Speed Gaming. You are always incredible. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, I second that. Thank you.
Yeah, one thing I offered to any of our racers, again, I'll go into this tomorrow morning for opening remarks of a little bit of my background, but for a nonprofit that I joined just as a volunteer, they created the first ever vice president of broadcasting position, and something I did is just like my brainchild for meetings, webinars, and conferences was to do what I call meet the speaker interviews. And one thing I did that for was to get to know the speaker and get to know a little bit about the webinar or whatever. And I offered a style of that here for all of our racers, commentators, trackers. If anyone wanted to just talk about, I created a script and everything else. And again, we could raise $1 million, and it's not as important without having these conversations. I'm ready to tear up after hearing what they've been saying. And again, you know, like Reggie said, this male masculine thing, like I could, part of my language, I could give a shit. Because it's, you know what's being strong? Being freaking vulnerable. Being vulnerable enough to share any struggles you're going through.
That's true.
Being strong is knowing how to take care of yourself well.
There you go. Nicely said.
Yeah.
That's strong.
And there
Being
are many
vulnerable,
parts to
taking
your
care
health.
of yourself. Absolutely. Vulnerable, taking care of yourself. Again, I'll share why I've been out of work for 4.5 years, looking for full-time permanent work. I'll share that tomorrow morning. But again, this is fantastic. I'm so grateful to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Your stories. Oh, it's my absolute honor, pleasure, and privilege. Are you kidding me? Part of me was it's so for those that don't realize, and I've been playing this for 2.5 months. I was a little concerned I wasn't gonna get any racers. Like again, like we've got Sam, Flash Frost is coming up next. We got MM2 and Derp and Oats and Goats tomorrow night, and Aussie and Bash, and like I haven't been in these communities a long time, and I've got some of the biggest heavy hitters that have signed up to say yes to this entire thing. Makes me really feel good. Again, trying not to cry here, but that means a lot to me. We can raise money for an incredible cause. So we're up against the next setup break. Is there anything else you both want to share? I posted the link to the MPR Discord in the Twitch chat if anybody wants to join it. But again, I'll leave this over to Reggie and Sam. Final thoughts from you both, and then I'll go ahead and segue us into the next race.
I'll say real quick that if you contact a bunch of passionate people to come together and play their game for a good cause, there's little chance that they would say no.
Oh no, I have to do the thing I like doing.
Exactly.
Oh no, it's for a cause that helps make people's lives better. Oh no.
Yep. How you doing over there, Reggie?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
What were your thoughts about the run in particular, Sam? We've talked a lot about like various things.
Yeah.
Very important things, but what from your perspective as a runner, what were some of your favorite moments in the run that just happened?
I want to talk about geothermal core, fiery shores, the secret world getting out of bounds pretty quickly. The exo skip got sketchy, but I managed to salvage it and still get an okay one. 52 is still a very strong time.
That's a really good time.
It is a really good time.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes slower than my personal best, but that says more about my personal best than it does this run, because the skill ceiling for this game is just so high. You should play Metroid Prime. It's a good game. If you have, a GameCube controller or just any controller you can hook to computer, set up Dolphin, or you got a Wii, GameCube, whatever it is, you should play this game. And if you like it a lot, you can try speedrunning it. And speedrunning, people talk about how hard this game is, but in reality, nowadays we've got a lot more resources and so many people willing to help. I'm willing. I love talking about this game. If you give me an excuse to talk about this game, even if it's just me helping you, I will do it. It's the greatest.
Having been in the speedrunning community for several years. Oh gosh, that's longer than I'd like to think about. No, I'm still small fries to some of the big fish in the pond. But I can say easily that learning this game now is easier than it has ever been before. There are tons of documents and resources available. There are many videos of trick resources and how to do something specific better, route breakdowns, etc. The Prime speedrunning Discord, there's always people in there answering questions. I watch it. I'm in there all the time, and I see there are still tons of people learning how to play this game better, and that's really cool. So more people should do it.
Yeah. Oh,
That's true.
hope the audio's
All
okay.
right. I appreciate both of you. I don't mean to shove us off, but I gotta send it over to the next run here. Sam, Reggie, thank you both. Greatly appreciate you. Folks, don't go anywhere. Metroid Fusion 100%. Blast Frost running, Thunder and Dark Spy on commentary. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes.
See y'all.